Hey guys, we're doing a VR setup here today, specifically on the Oculus Rift. I wanted to do this video to show you guys what I've made in the changes I've made in the past week, and to give you guys an idea of what maybe you guys can do in your Oculus Rift setups. The reason being, I've made a couple of changes here in the last week that have improved the startup time for me to set this up and get going in VR, which is always usually the hassle with people when they want to get VR setup going. And I've kind of limited, only to 30 seconds to get mine set up and going from me turning the computer on, putting it on and going. And some of the, changes that I've made also just make it an overall better experience. And you'll see exactly what I mean here when the video starts. So I made this video for you guys so you guys can see it and get some cool ideas and maybe help your setup out with VR. So let's get into this now.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so I'm here to show you guys my Oculus setup and give you guys just a hint of what my PlayStation VR setup also looks like, which is not down here. It's somewhere separate because it doesn't make sense to here. We'll get into that later, but I want to show you guys my primary VR setup down here. So let's get into that now. So let's start with there has been some changes here that I did actually in the last week or so that have made it a little bit better than what it used to be. So let's start with just the simple stuff. So the camera setup. So we have 4 cameras that we use for the Oculus Rift here. So we have one here on my corner desk there, as you guys have probably seen if you see my past video, and one there. Now back here, if you can kind of see how much space there is. So this is where my desk is, and this is the VR space. So basically a full-size ping pong table comes out through here, and we have room to play ping pong. When we don't play it, it's sitting like the way it is now. It covers the bar that's back there, which you guys have seen in my previous video. That gets pushed back. And now I got this whole space over here to play VR. And the other 2 cameras are back here. So this is how far back we can go. We got one Rift camera there, and we got another Rift camera here. So basically we can go right about to here and not have any issues. It's a pretty big space as far as like, being able to play down here. So I'm definitely happy with how, it's how much room you actually have down here. Even though it's always funny, like everyone says, well, you have the right room and you have a lot of room more than other people and stuff like that, but you always want more room, because when you're in VR and you start hitting walls, as big as this space is, like you start hitting walls back and forth and you're like, damn, I wish I had more space to be able to go even further, because like the more space you have, the more immersed you are, because you don't have to keep running into your walls and stepping back. So that's still a thing, but it's still really, really fun to have this much space to be able to use, and definitely lucky to be able to have this, because this was not planned to be a VR space, because VR didn't exist in its infancy. Like when I was, purchasing this house, I wasn't looking for a dedicated space or anything. It just worked out that I got a ping pong table, thank God, and it's something that could easily fold together. So it just worked out that way, that I can kind of have the best of both worlds there. So that is what that looks like. So let's take a look at the next thing that I actually changed. So I used to just have them sitting right here, which you guys may have seen in my previous video. The Oculus heads and the controllers kind of just sat there. Well, they don't anymore. So that's been moved. So the changes are actually that they're actually sitting right here now. So I got these stands here, as you can see, and they're actually mounted above me, so no one actually can hit them or anything. But as you can see, these strings are actually supposed to be like this, and they're not in the way. So they kind of sit like that. So that's how they're supposed to be, and they have no way of falling. You can see the bracket here is really good in place, and this is obviously right into the board, so this ain't going anywhere. Same thing with this. If you can kind of see up there, it's on the lip. There's no way this is falling from anywhere either. So really secure up there, even though it makes people nervous sometimes when things are hanging from the ceiling. Guarantee that that's not going anywhere. The house will collapse before that goes anywhere. So that's one of the changes that we did. The next change that we did, a lot of you guys know that, when you play VR, there's a cable on the floor. Well, I solved that finally. Until wireless comes around, this is what we're all kind of dealing with. It's either have it on the floor or get some really expensive wireless thing that may not work all the time. And until we get official, like from Oculus or Facebook or from HTC, like down the line, which sounds like it may be coming hopefully, within a year or so, where it's actually, across the board and easy to get. The best thing we could do that I got is use these Pulley Systems. So if you come over here, and this is where the slack is laying, because this is where I usually don't go when in VR. So the slack kind of lays here when it starts off. As I have these Pulley Systems here. So there's 6 of them. So I'll show you this one here. So basically when you move, when the cable moves, this will just pull down while you're playing. So when I pull this headset apart, so there's 6 of them, as you can see here, the cable's kind of going through there. So if I take this out, I was going to put the headset on, this comes down, and let's say I'm walking around the room, the Pulley System just comes with me. And then when you come back, Pulley Systems comes back. Let me go to this side with the headset, and you see the Pulley Systems there are coming down. And then we just put these straight back, and the Pulley Systems are going all the way back up. And then, when you're done, come over here, you put that headset back. To see how the slack starts off here, I don't want to leave this here because this is right in the entranceway, so you don't want people to not see that. So I usually just come over here when I'm done playing and just kind of leave the slack back here, and that's it. Now, this works really well for the most part, especially better than having the cable on the floor and having to worry about tripping over it all the time. So this is really cool. They sell this thing on Amazon for like 25 bucks. It comes with all the pulley strings that you need. And, like I said, it looks like this. So it comes with a little hook and the pulley thing and the sticky tab thing that goes to put it anywhere you want. So it's not drilled or anything. It's a sticky thing. So it works really well. The only thing for me that would probably work better for most of you guys, much better than me, is unfortunately sometimes when you're playing VR, being that the ceilings are really like kind of low because this is a basement, and unfortunately the ceilings here are only like 6.5 feet-ish before you hit the top of this. Since I'm 6 feet and I can, I'm pretty close to it. So what happens is that when you're moving around in VR and you come to this corner here, if you start turning to the left with the VR headset, sometimes the string that's sitting here will like go on top of your neck. So you'll just have to you'll feel it on your neck, and you'll have to either do a 360 and go around the other way, or just take it off your neck and wrap it off of you with your own hands. I still think that's better than having it on the floor because it happens a lot less than the cables are being tangled on the floor. But that's something to keep in mind that, probably wouldn't happen to the people who have higher ceilings because it will have more slack to go above and you wouldn't have to deal with that cable hanging so low and hitting your neck. So that's what I got to deal with, but it's much better than before. Wireless will hopefully be here within a year or so, so that's always a positive thing. And this works out well. And basically the way this is routed, so I have an extension cable. So this is my PC, obviously, and the VR gets connected to here to the front. So if I take this out, you guys have seen this VR panel before, that origin cell. So it goes right to the front, so I don't have to worry about always going to the back of my computer, which makes this setup a lot easier. And basically how I have it is there's an extension cable. So this is the actual cable from the headset. And if you see here, it goes to here, and then eventually these two things get plugged into here, and this is actually supposed to be up here, but I forgot to connect this back. That's not supposed to be dangling there, but that's fine for the time being. You guys get the point. It looks like it came off a little bit because I didn't actually hammer those in correctly yet because I just finished this up. But basically those are kind of sitting there, and that's the extension cable, as you can see, going into there. And this comes over here, and this is where this cable hides, because obviously there has to be a cable going to your computer to use this setup. So basically I have the hook up there for the cables. I take them down. These cables come down. We take these two cables that are right here, plug one into here, and plug one into here. And that's it. So obviously this is in front of the doorway, but when people are playing VR, we're all in here having fun, on the seats watching each other and stuff, or if it's just me, that's fine too. And no one's going to be blind and miss this giant cable in the middle of the doorway. There's not really any way around that. The only other way around that is if the cable was longer, but I don't want to use more than what's being used, because this is kind of like after you get more than 10 feet, you start having issues with Oculus detecting, and we already know how finicky the USB things extensions are with Oculus to begin with, because if it was longer, I can kind of push this up and put it around the doorway and just kind of leave it there to connect right away, but they're just not long enough for that. But it still works perfectly, and it's a lot easier to set up. I literally come down here when I want to play VR now. I come over there, grab that cable, connect it real quick, and then I grab the headset and I'm on my way. As opposed to before having to dig through the cables back there, look for the headset, connect it to the extender, grab the extender, connect that extender together, and then put it into there, and then set it up. Now this is just good to go. Nothing on the floor or anything, so it works really, really well. Compared to what I had before, it makes me want to play VR more just because it's more easily set up than it used to be. It's a lot more simple to set up. And that is currently how my VR setup is set up. down here. So that is the changes that I've made. Like I said, if you guys want to check these out on Amazon, if you guys want to know what the link is, let me know as far as getting these hooks and stuff. These were also from Amazon, these hooks, and it's actually made from the same company that makes those hooks. Also, 25 bucks, I believe, maybe a little less. I can't think off the top of my head. So if anybody wants those links, let me know. If you have any questions or anything, obviously let me know as well. And as far as the PlayStation setup that I was talking about, the PlayStation setup used to be in this room here. If we go underneath here, I used to have it in this room, and I used to have the PlayStation camera kind of just sitting on one of those blue things facing towards me. That works decently well for most of the games that have you sitting down. There's no issues with that. But I had it moved upstairs into my regular living room TV. And the reason being is because there's a lot of games now coming out that you have to move. Like Doom, for example. If I put the camera, you know, obviously the projector screen is going to come down, so the camera is going to be really low to the screen, obviously. So, though I had to, at that point, you know, it wouldn't see me when I was standing up. It was kind of annoying, and there's not a lot of room here, obviously, to walk around anyway. So I had to move that upstairs. So that's basically what we did. So I have that upstairs. So that's where I play VR, PlayStation VR upstairs. It's set up in the living room with a nice stand and stuff. So we got that going up there. But I think that covers everything I wanted to show you guys about this VR setup. I wanted to give you guys a fresh look on how I set up my Oculus VR setup. So you guys have an idea on how maybe you guys want to set this up and how you guys want to hook this up, so you guys get, you know, so you don't have to deal with the cable on the floor and stuff. Maybe this gives you guys some inspiration. That VR panel works really well. If you guys have a chance to get that, even if it's just a piece from Origin PC, that thing's great, because not having to go to the back of my PC and always having to go back there would make this setup, first of all, it wouldn't reach, and second of all, it'd just be annoying. If that VR panel wasn't in the front, as you can see, that cable, I wouldn't be able to do this setup because it wouldn't reach. So alright guys, so let's get into the second part of this video that I know you guys have probably clicked on this video for. And that is, my family came over this weekend. And unfortunately I didn't have an actual recording set up for them when they came to play VR. So I captured a few cell phone clips that were actually really funny. So I want to roll those into you guys now so you guys can see a little taste of, you know, things that we may do in the future with VR. And before I roll those videos, guys, next week will be our first VR video. I will be doing some gameplay videos of VR, so you'll see me moving around in this space, and you'll see the gameplay as well, of course, and see me how that works. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see VR content. I'm not sure exactly which game we're going to play first and which game we're going to take a look at first, but you guys are definitely going to be interested, so keep an eye out for that this upcoming week. But let's roll into these videos now so you guys can check these VR impressions out from my family when they came over. Get the cable out of the way.
I'm crying like crazy. I said, why can I move? ¿Qué es lo que ella ve? Oh my God. You're touching me!
Touching you. Alright, you're done, you're done.
Yeah, you fucking... On the table! Oh my God! There's something in there!
You're gonna hit the wall. Why are you walking forward? There's nothing on the screen but a drawer.
I'm gonna keep coming back! No, keep walking!
Alright, are you done? Are you done or no?
No. Oh my God!
About time, finally.
Oh my God! No me voy a caer aquí.
Oh my God. The color.
Ya viene a comerme ahora.
No, ya se va. Ya se acabó todo ya.
I paid $20 to see Mama do this. No, papi, no lo toques.
Why isn't she shooting
No,
them?
no, no.
Shoot it, Felicia! Reload it! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Get the guns on the side! Shoot the guns! What gun?
Don't shoot the
Too late,
right barrels
miss
till
it.
he gets close. Now shoot the barrels.
Shoot the barrel!
Shoot the barrels.
Right!
There you go. That's how you
Shoot the
gotta do
guns
it.
in the bottom left! Like the box
Wait
is
till he
the
gets
guns.
close first. Wait till he gets close to them.
She's looking for her.
Es que
Shoot at him! Shoot him!
Hay que tirar los rollos, no tirar
Look up! Shoot the guy at the top!
Shoot the guy at the top.
Look at our guy!
Right there. Look at him. Shoot him.
Sí.
No, nada que ver que oye, están dando de golpe a una persona ahí.
Sí. Yo voy a toda la batería de ustedes de llamamos aquí. ¿Qué está diciendo?
Claro, la distancia de una casa a otra tiene bastante espacio.
Claro, mataste, creo, ¿no? Aquí hay bastante espacio. Y esta tú cerrada.
The guy on the ceiling is hitting you.
Where? Where? I don't see him!
He's right there.
Where? Felicia, what are you doing?
Tirando everywhere.
I don't see this other guy.
You probably passed him already.
Come on, come on.
Don't shoot that stuff until he gets close.
I thought he was close.
Y que incluso porque mira los rojos alrededor.
Shoot him, son! What's she looking at? You got your eyes closed back there?
Gaming Techie is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie.